What does the Palm Springs housing market have in store for 2022? Are we finally going to see this massive housing crash that some people have been predicting? Is a foreclosure wave going to bring more homes for sale to the market? Today, we're going to discuss what to expect if you're a buyer or a seller in the coming months. Demand for homes here in the 9 cities of the Coachella Valley in the greater Palm Springs area remains very strong. There are more buyers than homes for sale. And the median price for homes here was $615,000 in November of 2021, which represents a 12-month gain of 17%. And for Palm Springs, the price of an average size home was $1,182,120. Rancho Mirage was $1,124,914. Indian Wells, La Quinta, and Palm Desert also had large price increases. So what do the trends look like for 2022? Well, in December of 2021, the Federal Reserve announced policy changes that will have a big impact on the housing market, not just here in Palm Springs, but across the country. The Fed announced they will begin winding down the quantitative easing program and will begin increasing interest rates. So many of the things that have been influencing our recent housing market will be changing in 2022. So the low interest rates that have been encouraging buyer demand will start to go away. And this will also impact the borrower's affordability when buying a home. So it's very possible by the end of 2022, fixed mortgage rates could be up to as high as 4% or maybe even 5%. Most likely, these new mortgage rates will slow the housing demand for buyers. So you may be wondering if this will create a housing market crash. Well, most likely not, because of the laws of supply and demand. You need way more supply of homes here in the Coachella Valley for a crash to happen, even if interest rates do rise. And also remember, housing crashes don't just happen overnight. They take months to happen, and we're a long way from anything like that. As far as an increase in homes for sale due to foreclosures because of the pandemic loan forbearance program it's winding down, homes nationally involved in the forbearance program only represented 1.7% of all mortgage loans. And here in the Coachella Valley, it's less. So if history repeats itself, only 0.4% resulted in a short sale or a deed in lieu of foreclosure. So this scenario will not bring many homes to the market because the forbearance issue just isn't a big deal here locally. But with the changes the Federal Reserve is making, we will see changes that will affect the Palm Springs real estate scene in 2022. As of December 1st, 2021, the total inventory of homes for sale in the Coachella Valley was only 742 units, which is 173 units less than just last month, and that's 59% less than a year ago. Normally and historically, we see more homes coming on the market in November and December, and that just hasn't happened in 2021. Because inventories are so low, unless new listings really surge, it's hard to imagine sales demand and prices slowing down very much, at least in the first half of 2022. It's unlikely buyer demand will slow down much because of the Fed interest rate policies in 2022. Predictions from Zillow, Redfin, and Realtor.com all project tight market conditions to exist in 2022. So don't expect a lot of change in the first 6 months, and it's possible buyer demand may start to cool down a little in the last half of the year as the Fed's interest rate changes become in effect. It's all relative, so that means we may not have the multiple offer situations, or at least as many offers each time a home comes on the market, and the over-asking price scenarios that are in play here right now, along with things like appraisals being waived, waiving any repair requests, and shortening the contingency times. What about home values and inflation? Well, inflation is expected to continue, which also will increase the home values. The California Association of Realtors is forecasting a 5.2% increase in the median home value in 2022, which is not as aggressive as they've been in the last 12 months. But at the same time, Goldman Sachs is predicting 16% home appreciation, and Zillow is predicting 11.7%. And we have a lot of local homeowners that have been contacting us about selling, but they're sitting and waiting on the right opportunity to buy another property, and they don't want to put their home on the market until they're able to find a home that they can buy. And new home construction, at least here in the Palm Springs area, isn't going to make much of an impact on the number of homes that become available for sale in 2022. So 2022 is shaping up to be an interesting year for the Palm Springs real estate scene. So if you are a home buyer, interest rates will continue to increase. So buying sooner than later is probably a good idea. If you wait, affordability may become an issue. For sellers, sooner than later also applies, as there are more buyers currently in the market and you have a better chance of getting the highest price. As interest rates increase, the number of buyers may diminish somewhat and there may be more competition as more sellers put their homes on the market and put them up for sale. Palm Springs is a great place to visit, live, or retire to. If you're thinking of moving to the Palm Springs area, buying or selling a home here, be sure to get in touch with me. I want to make your experience as smooth as possible. And don't miss my Living in Palm Springs podcasts on iTunes and Spotify. Now, be sure to watch this next video about the best neighborhoods in Palm Springs.